Mahagauri, the eighth form of Navadurga, is a symbol of purity, peace, and serenity. She is revered as a form of Goddess Parvati, and her story, rooted in Hindu mythology, represents the transformative power of penance and devotion. Mahagauri's form emerges from Parvati's intense penance to attain Lord Shiva as her husband, and her story is described in various Hindu scriptures, including the Shiva Purana and Matsya Purana. Mahagauri's story. The origin of Mahagauri is deeply linked with the penance of Goddess Parvati. In her previous incarnation as Sati, Parvati immolated herself in her father Daksha's yagna, or sacrificial ceremony, due to the insult shown toward her husband, Lord Shiva. She was then reborn as Parvati, the daughter of Himavat, the king of the Himalayas, and his wife, Maina. From a young age, Parvati was devoted to Lord Shiva and aspired to marry him. However, Lord Shiva was detached from worldly matters and engrossed in deep meditation after the loss of Sati. Determined to win Shiva's heart and to awaken his attention, Parvati decided to perform severe penance. According to the Shiva Purana and Matsya Purana, Parvati left her luxurious life as a princess and engaged in tapasya, or austerity, in the forests, fasting, meditating, and living under extreme conditions. She stood in the snow, ate only leaves, and sometimes went without food for years to gain Lord Shiva's favor. Due to her intense penance, her body became weak and emaciated, and her complexion darkened due to the harsh conditions. As Parvati continued her rigorous penance, she earned the title of Kalratri, or the dark-skinned goddess. Her form, though weakened and dark, shone with her inner purity and devotion. Seeing her intense devotion and hardships, the gods were moved, and even Lord Shiva himself took notice. Pleased with her dedication and sincerity, Lord Shiva finally appeared before her and agreed to marry her. However, noticing her darkened complexion and fragile state, Lord Shiva bathed her in the holy waters of the Ganga. This divine cleansing restored Parvati to her original radiant form, and her complexion became brilliantly white. This transformed form of Parvati, with a fair complexion, is known as Mahagauri, with Maha meaning great and Gauri meaning white or fair. Her radiant beauty and pure form symbolize the end of her penance, and her union with Lord Shiva, representing the ultimate triumph of devotion and the transformation from darkness, Kalratri, to light, Mahagauri. This transition also signifies the purification of the soul through dedication and spiritual austerity. Mahagauri's transformation from Kalratri to her dazzling white form represents the journey from ignorance and darkness to knowledge and purity. She is a symbol of spiritual enlightenment and divine grace. Her story teaches that through persistent devotion, penance, and purity of heart, one can attain spiritual wisdom and divine blessings. The name Mahagauri emphasizes her whiteness, which symbolizes purity, cleanliness, and divinity. She represents the compassionate and peaceful aspect of Goddess Durga, bringing peace and wisdom to her devotees. Mahagauri is typically depicted as a radiant goddess with a white complexion. Her attire is also white, representing her purity and grace. She is portrayed as a peaceful and calm deity, seated on a bull, which is also the mount of her consort, Lord Shiva. The bull symbolizes dharma, or righteousness, and strength. She is depicted with 4 arms, and her attributes are as follows. First, the trident, or Trishul, symbolizes her power to destroy evil and protect the righteous. Second, the Damaru, a small drum, is a symbol of cosmic rhythm and the creation of the universe. Third, one hand is raised in the Abhaya Mudra, a gesture of reassurance, offering protection and fearlessness to her devotees. Finally, the other hand is in the Varada Mudra, a gesture of granting boons, symbolizing her generosity and readiness to bestow blessings upon her worshippers. Her white appearance, along with her peaceful demeanor, signifies the culmination of her intense penance and the rewards of spiritual purification. She represents the ultimate form of divine grace and mercy. References in Hindu scriptures. The Shiva Purana narrates how Parvati, after performing austere penance to win Lord Shiva's heart, was transformed into the fair and radiant Mahagauri. It describes her intense devotion, her trials, and her eventual union with Shiva. The Matsya Purana describes the hardships Parvati underwent to gain Shiva's attention and how she transformed into Mahagauri after being bathed in the holy waters by Shiva. The Skanda Purana also provides references to Mahagauri, highlighting her role in the cosmic order as the consort of Shiva and her importance in granting blessings to her devotees. Worship of Mahagauri. On the 8th day of Navaratri, devotees worship Mahagauri to seek her blessings for peace, purity, and prosperity. She is believed to cleanse her devotees of all their past sins and impurities, granting them the blessings of spiritual enlightenment and divine wisdom. Her worship is associated with purity of thought and action, and her devotees pray for relief from sufferings and the removal of obstacles from their lives. Mahagauri is especially revered for her power to grant marital bliss, remove sorrows, and fulfill the desires of those who worship her with sincerity. Her mantra is recited to invoke her blessings. Aum Devi Mahagauriye Namaha. Translation: Om, I bow to the goddess Mahagauri. Key aspects and symbolism. Mahagauri's radiant white complexion signifies purity, enlightenment, and divine grace. It represents the victory of light over darkness and spiritual purification. Her bull mount symbolizes righteousness and strength, aligning her with the virtues of dharma and moral integrity. Mahagauri is associated with the Sahasrara chakra or crown chakra, which represents the highest level of consciousness, leading to spiritual enlightenment and liberation, or moksha. Conclusion. Mahagauri, the eighth form of Navadurga, is the embodiment of purity, serenity, and the transformative power of devotion. Her story, as found in the Shiva Purana and other Hindu texts, highlights the importance of spiritual austerity, devotion, and the eventual triumph of inner purity over external hardships. Her journey from Kalratri to Mahagauri represents the cleansing and purifying power of devotion, and her blessings are sought by those wishing to remove negativity, gain peace, and attain spiritual wisdom. Worshipping Mahagauri during Navaratri invokes her grace for a life of righteousness, peace, and divine blessings.